Hey guys, Tbull here. Today we're checking out one of the new German battleships. This one's the Tier 5 Mackensen. Celiacs on there. I got a serious secondary build on these ships. Tier 4, the Durf. I don't know if I'll cover that one. I probably will in a video coming up, but that one I'm not really digging the secondary build. Alright, even if you go all in on it, you don't really have a great range. I mean, you can get in close in those low mid-tier games, sure, once in a while it's working, but in general, I don't think it's worth building that. Starting at tier 5, you can make the case either way. What's the detraction I'm putting a secondary build on this? Well, a lot of the guns on the secondaries in this one, lower caliber. So there's less armor values that we can penetrate with these, relying more on fires. That said, I think we got, 8.3, or no, 8.7. 8.3 or 8.7 on the range here with Haruna and Von Hipper very high. Okay, 16.3, 16.4, somewhere in that range for both of them. So about as good as we can get on the range here. But the fact that the calibers of the secondaries are a little bit lower on a lot of them, I'm going to get a lot less damage. Tier 6, Tier 7, that's not as much of a problem. Those ships can absolutely shred. I still like the secondary build on the Mackinson. I think it makes it fun. And we got quite a bit of a reach for a Tier 5 battleship. So, enjoyable. Overall, the line, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I think this is one of the more fun lines that we've had in a while. And even if you're not really scoring on the crates, don't worry about it. Come next month, this is probably going to be one of the lines that you're going to want to grind out if you like the brawling battleship playstyle, which I really like. The other difference between Mackinson and the Tier 6 and Tier 7, no torpedoes on this guy. Those two ships have the 6-kilometer German torpedoes. Nice launching angles, firing angles, and even more effective. All right, so a lot of people are, when we've been streaming looking at these ships, they're saying, well, why do we got the limited damage con? There's a lot of tools on these ships, and while I don't, I tend to get them into high risk positions, I'd say, just because it's enjoyable to get in there, get some damage early, lean on the enemy. You can whack them around a little bit. They're not always the most armored ships, but they're relatively durable. But overall, quite a lot of fun. So I'm enjoying these. I think they're pretty good. I think you can score pretty reliably as long as the enemy doesn't focus you early. So is the limited damage controls warranted? Well, time will tell, but that's the state of the game that we have now. And it wouldn't surprise me if they leave it like this, which means we're going to have to be very judicious in the use of these damage controls. All right, you certainly can't be fixing one fire. If you only got 3 repairs on this, well, then you can have some problems. We'll see. Like the Russians also have limited damage controls now. Those builds have the ability to add a couple more damage controls via the commander builds. And once you get up to 5, that's plenty per game. I mean, if you're using more than 5 damage controls, you're already probably in pretty serious trouble to begin with, or you're just using them too readily. Anyway, jumping on the match here. What is this? Strait, I believe it's called. One of the classic maps, but you don't see it as much, at least at the higher tiers, which have been grinding a lot lately. Trento tried to blow him up a minute ago. The destroyer whiffed him multiple times. That's fine. We'll go ahead and take the kill, take him off the board. He might have torps coming this way. Italian cruiser torps extremely slow. But here the Icarus, he's out of torpedoes. He's trying to get behind the island and stay alive, I guess. Very risky position. Mutsuki, we'd like to get a little fire on him. And you can see the secondaries going off. We already got over 30 hits. And the game's just getting going. Pretty good start for blue, by the way. We've already eliminated a third of the red team. But this game, we're going to be racking up some kills and some other goodies. So it's a pretty fun game here. Moving backwards, trying to get these secondaries to engage the Derflinger. And what we want to be viewing these secondaries as is kind of a pressure mechanism. We're kind of leaning on these guys, forcing them to rack. Because if they're just going to let us sit here and pummel them, eventually via damage, raw damage, and fires, we're just going to wear them down. So getting into these positions where we can be shooting both the main guns ideally, but secondaries as well, that's kind of a stressful thing for the enemy to deal with. And it's forcing them to make a move. Icarus, he's getting a little bit bored, so he's going towards those ships. That's fine. We don't have an issue with that. But positionally, I've been kind of using these as a stopper I kind of view the American light cruisers in the same way, but I would not put the light cruisers as close as these ships. But like the light cruisers, we'll plop them down in a defensible position and then just bomb on anyone who's trying to move forward, right? We're just trying to prevent, it's kind of a defensive play style. And even though we're being very aggressive with these new German battleships in terms of the positioning, the actual how far forward we're moving, we want to get these guns going, and ideally we'd like to get them going off both sides at once. So we're being a little bit aggressive there, but the same idea. Plop down on the cap. Okay, you're going to have a hard time dealing with me. If you want to push forward, you're going to be absorbing all these hits and all this damage. We did lose the destroyer. We're getting a little bit pressured here. I do have the Mutsuki in the vicinity, so we do have to give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room. I'm trying to engage this Monahan as well. I believe that's the destroyer we're looking at here. But opportunity to make a play. Red to turn the situation around dramatically despite losing a third of their team to open the game. They've quickly evened it up. So not a lot of defensive play there. Nice close quarters action there. We got them off the board. There's one of the destroyers. Evens back up the ship count. I think we got two of the ships here. They got a Fuso in the cap that I'm hoping they're going to deal with and flip that cap because we're going to lose C, of course. And then they got another rogue. I think it's Kavor or something like that. He's kind of the southeast of A right now, but nobody knows exactly where it is. So once again, we're just, we're expecting these guys to try and plow through here now. Now that I'm more in open waters, I can get a little bit of dodge on, in response to any suspected torpedo attack, or if I need to flee, if they're all rushing me quickly. I got more options. It's tougher to do when you're stuck in those tight quarters. But that's fine. We're, once again, just trying to plug these guys up. All right. So we're just going to take a moment here. No need to rush. They did get the battleship off of A. Excellent job. And even better, they're flipping the cap. That'll tie the background scoring. And we do have a lead frozen in place. At least right now we do have a ship up, or we are up a ship. So we're actually probably down slightly. Tough to tell. Depends on what they think. Getting some secondary guns, getting some main guns on the Mutsuki. Trying to get him off. And the sonar. Another great tool that we have on here. Starting at tier 5, I believe. I don't believe the DERF has it at tier 4. I might be wrong off the top of my head, but certainly tier 4, 5, 6, and presumably 8 and on up the line. Outstanding German sonars here. This version's 5.3. Tried to give him a wicked shot on the nose, but all ricochets, or most ricochets. But 5.3, outstanding. That's like the German cruisers levels, and I think it actually gets up to 5.6, I want to say, on the tier 7. So a very powerful tool. We got the secondary booster, we got the sonar, we got some heals, and depending on your build, you're either 3 or 5 heals available. And there's a much better shot in the nose. And all these German battleships, they're kind of weaker on the top side of the nose there. So looking for those shots, wrecked his guns. And now we're trying to angle, again, trying to get some shots coming off of both of these. All right, now the more broadside you are, the more the secondaries can fire. But if you're steeply angled, usually the ones on the back can at least get a couple shots. So trying to manage this situation here. And this is when the German battleships are a lot of fun and when they actually shine too. When we're engaging multiple ships close range, this is when you're saying to yourself, all right, this is why I'm playing these ships here. Getting some wicked shots on the DERF. Mutsuki hoping to get him going off the right-hand side with the secondaries. Secondaries going off all over the place. We're on fire. We got the Kavor on the red moving in the middle of the map. We got to keep an eye on him as well. Presenting full broadside there. A lot going on. A lot of damage piling up here. We got our back guns swinging around here, trying to get the Mutsuki. And then we're going to halt the turn again, trying to lock in the guns on this position so we can fire at the Kavor, who is low. And we're piling up the damage. We get the high cal there. Mutsuki on the ropes. Here we do. If we can get him with one more shot, I think he's going to go down. And Kavor taking some hits as well. Starting fires. Everything's going on. Boom. There he goes. The Mutsuki with the second close quarters. And going for the double. Can we get it off? Well, let's take a look here. Yes, we got it. And take it away, Little John.
Gegnerische Schlachtschiff gesunken.
What?
Gegnerische Schlachtschiff gesunken.
What?
Gegnerische Schlachtschiff gesunken.
Okay.
Little John's appearance in the studio brought to you by Bull Bites. Don't get whipped by hunger. Take a bite out of the bowl. Bull Bites. Bull Bites. All right, Durf on the ropes here, and we got him with the back guns coming up. Boom, and there goes the Kraken. And that's going to do it for the Mackinson. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the thumbs up. New to the channel, consider subscribing. Lots of World of Warships coming for you all the time. Questions, comments, leave them below. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll see y'all later. Peace.